right, welcome everybody. We're here and ready for another episode of InFocus Marketing Sessions, brought to you by us 142 Productions. Today we are. My name's Duncan Moore from 142 Productions, like I just said, where we do video marketing, video production, anything TV commercials, web videos, social media videos, anything like that. And today we're joined by Jillian. Jillian, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hey everyone, welcome to Facebook Live. I'm Jillian Rosich Kendrick, and I'm the owner of Informed Marketing Solutions. I help small business owners, and particularly my niche is authors, coaches, and speakers, and I help them take their I help them take their content and their educational content and put it into an online membership site, and then do all of the front end, all of the website, all of the back end, some coding, membership permissions, all of the e-commerce, and it's just really a great time, and that's a little bit about what we're going to talk about today.
Right.
Fact.
Yep. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. We're talking about marketing automation software, which is Jillian's specialty. So that's why she's on the show today. And that's automation is a big deal nowadays because there's so many different audiences you have to get to and so much content that you have to manage. You have to constantly be talking to your customers. So having a little help with some automation is definitely a great thing to have nowadays.
Yeah, it's all about being in the front of mind of your customers when they're ready for you, when they're ready to buy. Absolutely.
And let's just get right into it. For people that don't know, what is marketing automation? Like that segue? That's good. Eh?
Yeah, I love that segue. That's perfect. So, marketing automation really breaks down to automation and software and your processes and procedures. And what I always like to say is that every entrepreneur and small business owner struggles with two things: how to identify the processes or procedures in their business, and then how to teach those processes and procedures to somebody else. Because if you, it doesn't matter what your business is. If you are a software coder, if you put tile on roofs, if you're a baker, if you work on cars, it doesn't matter what your business is. Most entrepreneurs and small business owners are so good at what they do, and they go into business because they're so good and because they want to stand out in the market. They want that freedom. They don't want to have to be working for somebody else. They're so good at what they do that they themselves can't teach it to somebody else, right? Like you hear the phrase all the time, I can't find good help, or it's so hard to find good help. And some of the time it's absolutely true. Like sometimes you just don't have the people in the job market that you're looking for. But the overwhelming majority of the time, the case comes down to the fact that small business owners and entrepreneurs don't have a process, don't have that like A to Z, 1, 2, 3 sort of recipe for how to get things done, and they can't teach it to someone else. So when you hire a person, you hire a new employee or a new contractor, they might be amazing and perfect for you, but if you can't teach them how to do what you do best, you can't like get them into the mold of your business, you're just setting them up for success, and ultimately you're setting your business or failure, I'm sorry. So, I want success for you, right? You're setting yourself up for failure by not having those processes and procedures, and ultimately setting your business up for failure if you don't have that. So if you are the type of entrepreneur that's like working the 16 and 18-hour days, you're constantly spinning your wheels, you're following up with customers manually, you're doing everything manually, like no wonder you're not spending time with your kids. No wonder your business isn't growing to its full potential. So marketing automation really is ultimately, the definition, in my opinion, is sitting down and looking at all of the processes and everything you do in your business, whether like it's an internal process of bringing in a new employee or new contractor, or it's an external process of like a sales funnel or something like that, and taking that process and building out like an ABC 1, 2, 3 step by step to look at what you're actually doing in your business and then teaching it to someone else. So I help small businesses and entrepreneurs to look at their business in a very systematic sort of way. And then the automation part, the key to all of this is once you figure out what your process is and you figure out what you need to get done, what can be done by a human and what can be done by a computer so that you can spend time with your kids and you can have those vacations and you can live that entrepreneurial lifestyle that you want and that what your business is capable of doing.
And as a small business owner, like we both are, we're always putting on multiple hats and
Totally.
everything. So, a lot of us don't have the luxury of having that internal marketing person that just focuses on getting your message out there and everything. So,
Right.
any help that we can get, as a small business owner, the better.
Exactly. And really, how many small business owners and entrepreneurs have the kind of budget where they could hire even a contract worker to manually send tens or even hundreds of emails every single day that you can pay a software a monthly fee, and all of those emails, thousands of emails, get sent in a matter of nanoseconds. It's unbelievable what marketing automation software can do nowadays. And I actually had a client who was a small business owner going through that, like the daily grind, the 9 to 12, as I like to call it, those 16 and 18-hour days,
Yeah.
just spinning her wheels, struggling so much. And she was bringing in leads. She was bringing in new leads. That wasn't the issue. But she would only have the time in her day to be able to follow up with like a couple of those leads at one time. And then the time that she spent following up with those leads, it was only one email or two emails. Well, the fact of the matter is that if you send one email to one person, they don't know you well enough or trust you well enough to actually hand over dollars. So you need multiple follow-ups. You need multiple streams. You need what we call in the biz long-term nurture sequences that you can really educate your audience and your leads to understand who you are, what you do, and why they need you. And she didn't have that, and she's sitting there wondering, I'm sending one email. Why aren't I making millions of dollars?
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly why. So I came into her business. We sat down and we looked at a process and a procedure from A to Z on everything on how to really nurture her leads. And now she's converting at over 50%, which is
That's great.
right? Like unheard of.
Yeah.
And she can spend more time with her kids. She can grow her business. She can work on different projects. And she's not having to do these unbelievably like hard manual processes anymore. And it's just amazing what the power of marketing automation has.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, if you want to take a look down here, this is a bit.ly link that Jillian has made that has the info that she's talking about today. So if you want to get more info on this and follow along, go to this site real quick and download that and check it out, and you can use it for future reference as well. Which, I think what would be next great to talk about is the software that you use. So, because automation sounds great. How does the process work with the software that you use?
For sure. Well, I actually work in a software. I'm a certified partner through Infusionsoft, and a lot of business owners have heard of like Constant Contact
Right.
or MailChimp, or even some like e-commerce softwares, different things like that. Well, Infusionsoft actually takes like what a small business owner used to have to spend thousands of dollars every month for like 10 or 12 different softwares. Infusionsoft does that all under one roof.
Okay, that's good. So it's like a CRM that helps with your marketing and everything, helps your lead generation and follow up and everything like that. Because like you were
Exactly.
saying in that story, with yeah, it's great to get that first touch out there, but if you don't do your follow-ups and everything, and it's a full-time job almost, following this stuff. So the more help, the better, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Well, for those of you that are just joining in, you are watching InFocus Marketing Sessions, and my name's Duncan Moore with 142 Productions, and this is Jillian from Informed Marketing Solutions, and today we're talking about marketing automation software. So if you got any questions or anything, send them in the comments below. We'll get to them right here on the show. And be sure to share this. Any business owner that you know or marketing director that could benefit from this, be sure to share it. Get it out there. Let's move on.
Yeah, absolutely. And definitely like Infusionsoft isn't just for e-commerce. If you own a brick and mortar, it can help. Like processes and procedures isn't just an internet game. It is across the board something that entrepreneurs and small businesses struggle with, and Infusionsoft is just one of the many tools in our arsenal to really help grow your business.
And that leads us right into our next. You did the segue this time.
Yes.
How can I use automation in my business? So what kind of stuff let's keep using Infusionsoft as an example. What kind of stuff can you automate in your business?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually had a client, this is a great segue or story into just how powerful marketing automation software and Infusionsoft is for so many businesses across the board, because I had a client in a very unique niche, which was he manufactured like 100,000-pound industrial sized bags for like peanut farmers and cleaning.
It's a business that it's necessary, right?
Yeah, right. Or like mail bags, and you would never think somebody owns a business and actually does this, but this was his business. This was his niche. He made millions off of it. It's awesome. But one thing that he really struggled with was he had no sales process. Like literally his sales process was opening up the yellow pages and looking through the yellow pages saying, oh, they might be a good client. Oh, let's call Joe the farmer. and cold calling these people without any idea of whether they needed bags, whether they used bags. And he was in such a specific niche. Like, how can you open up, it's like Russian roulette for your business. How can you open up the yellow pages and just go, bing, I'm going to call that guy. Right? So I was able to come into his business and really look at his sales process and turn it into a process. Because again, whether you have a process written down or not, you have a process. If, every morning the alarm goes off, you hit the snooze once, you wake up, you go brush your teeth, you take a shower, you go to bed, like that's a process. And whether you do it just innately or you have it written down, you have a process that you go through every day with your personal life and with your business. And so his sales process, quite literally, was opening up the yellow pages and just kind of hoping
that
for
sounds really tedious.
Yeah, right. Just kind of hoping for the best. So I was able to come in and what I call ID his business, which is identify, document, and then digitize. So what we did was from A to Z, we took the process of bringing in cold leads, identifying which of those leads were actually
like a vetting process.
Yeah, were actually qualified leads for his really, really specific niche.
Very specific.
How his sales team was going to walk through the process of educating these leads, and then everything from that to getting a sale and going through a reorder process. And then again, we go through the process of what can a human do and what can we tell a software to do. So like a phone call or a face-to-face meeting, well, I can't really create a Facebook Live video that says, hey, client, check out this video. I'm way too busy for you, but by the way, if you can give me a couple grand on the side, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Business doesn't work that way. There's reciprocity, there's trust, there's communication, there's information, there's education. So there are just things in your process every single day that a human being has to do, and you can't escape that. But the rest of it that can be done while you're at lunch, or better yet, done while you're on vacation, Automate it. Get a
So
computer to
it's
do that for you.
it's almost like having an employee like for you doing this stuff, right?
It's like having 100 employees doing it for you. Absolutely. And so we were able to identify, document, and digitize his business to the point where we actually digitized over 80% of his sales process. So now he's happy because the money is just rolling through the door. His sales guys aren't complaining anymore that like they don't have a process, they don't know what to do. In fact, one of his sales guys actually told me when I was kind of interviewing everybody to figure out like what is your process? Because again, whether you have it documented or not, you have a process. So I was interviewing one of his sales guys, and he's like, "Yeah, I just kind of have these like scraps of paper on the front seat of my car, and whenever I'm like driving to Panera Bread and I like see a business that I think might be a viable candidate, I kind of do some chicken scratch on the back of my Panera receipt." And I was like, do you know how much money is sitting on your front seat that you're doing nothing with? There is so much low-hanging fruit. It makes me sad to know that these customers could be emailed, could be educated, could be followed up with, and you literally have to kind of set it and forget it, right? That's what marketing automation is for. And so when it comes to utilizing marketing automation in your business, if you can identify the process, you can document it, and that really is as simple as let's get a Google Doc and let's write down step 1, do this, step 2, do that. It's sort of like the recipe for how you get things done in your business. And if you can write that down, you can document it, and then you can digitize it, because what you can't what is the phrase I'm looking for? Like what you don't have documented, you can't manage. What you can't see,
Right.
you can't manage. So when you don't have a process, of course your sales guys don't know what they're doing.
Right.
But we were able to automate over 80% of their sales process.
And as that 80%, like what kind of stuff was that? Was that email campaigns, that social media? What kind of stuff was that?
Yeah, totally. So that was excuse me, that was email follow-up, and that was like a nurture sequence to basically educate this cold lead on what is their business, what do they have to offer. That was sending a task to the salesperson to follow up and say, hey, we haven't heard from this customer or this lead in a while. Here's a 5-day delay timer that then triggers a task to the salesperson to call them or follow up with them. And then once they've done that and they make a note, literally on your phone, there's an Infusionsoft app that you can use on the phone, on the go, when you're in the car. Yeah. And so you don't even need to have a computer with you in order to do this. It's amazing. It was tasks, phone calls, follow-up, educational email. It was like an email to their accountant to send them like some samples, and then it was billing and follow-up and just anything really like anything that you can do that doesn't have to be done by a human being, you can automate.
And how long does that process take? Like, let's use the bag man as an example. Like, how long did it take you to set all this up for him?
Yeah. So what I usually do, my process, right, for my clients, I usually bring them in and we kind of have a discovery session. Like, I want to know what is your business, where are the holes that you think are in your business, and then where are the holes that I can find that you're not seeing.
Okay.
So we kind of do that like 1-day discovery session, and then from there, and it kind of depends. Every business, is a little bit different.
A little bit.
But then I'll go and we'll sit down and figure out what is the actual process. Maybe I need to interview a few of your salespeople or interview an assistant or somebody else like that to figure out what is the process that exists that just needs to be documented and then digitized. And so then from there, it's usually like a week, sometimes 2, to actually implement all of that stuff and write email content and go through like a testing process.
Okay.
So all in all, you're looking at about a month of work.
But then after that, it's pretty passive. Like it sort of just goes.
Or even like a simple campaign, just a couple days worth of work, and that's there forever. As long as you're part of Infusionsoft and the internet exists, that's there forever, and you can be sending emails and sending marketing automation and educational videos or PDFs or documents. You can even have documents signed.
Okay.
So you don't, you get a new client and they need to sign a contract, you can automate that. You don't even have to be there to sign stuff. And you can do all of this literally like set it once and it's done. And you can go on vacation, spend time with your kids, not have to work those 16 and 18-hour days. And this really is, like you said, kind of having a couple of extra employees in your back pocket. It's awesome.
That's great. For those of you that are just watching, just getting in here, you're watching InFocus Marketing Sessions, where we sit down every month with marketing professionals from the Space Coast. And today we are talking with Jillian from Informed Marketing Solutions. My name is Duncan from 142 Productions, and we're talking about marketing automation software. Now, Jillian has prepared a packet. Down here, you'll see the bit.ly link for you to go and download the packet of what she's talking about today, so you can follow along and get some more information for yourself, and great information on there. If you know anybody that can benefit from this info, be sure to share this. And if you have any questions about marketing and automation, because a lot of people don't even know that marketing automation exists. They think it's all by hand and you got to do it one piece at a time. And it can be really overwhelming. And a lot of people think the only solution is to hire someone or to hire a big agency to manage all this stuff for you, when actually some of that load can be done with the machines. It's only so long before they take over anyway. We might as well welcome them in and just let it happen. So let's continue on. Our last subject of this is, there's a lot of like data coming in, a lot of stuff to analyze. How many people are opening the emails? How long are they looking? What links are they clicking within the emails? Things like that. So what do you do with all that stuff?
Yeah, exactly. What do you do with that data overwhelm? Because it's so easy to look at numbers or look at a spreadsheet and just say, this is Greek to me. Like, I have no idea what all of this means. Every time I go into Google Analytics, I like just get a stomach ache and I leave.
Yeah.
So it's so easy to get overwhelmed by the data, but it doesn't have to be that way. Like, you don't. Again, it's kind of a process. Like, how do you figure out what the data is? How do you figure out what it means? So imagine for a second that you're a fisherman, that's your business. Your job, your whole business, metaphorically, is to buy some bait, go out on a boat, catch some fish, go back to the market and sell those fish. And essentially, isn't that a metaphor for all of our businesses?
Right. Yep.
So imagine that you buy 1 pound of bait and you go out and you fish on the first day and you get 5 pounds of fish. So you think, I have a 1-to-5 ratio. So logic would tell you tomorrow I'm going to take 2 pounds of bait and I'm going to get 10 pounds of fish, right?
Following along, I got it.
You're smart. So you go out on day 2, you take that 2 pounds of bait, you get your 10 pounds of fish, you're like, I'm a mathematical genius. And so the third day, you buy your 3 pounds of bait, you go out assuming you're going to get 15 pounds of fish, but that's not actually the case. And no matter how much bait you throw into the water, or metaphorically, or how many coupons, how many Facebook ads you're running, how many, the quality of your emails matters a lot, the quality of your bait, so to speak. No matter how much bait you throw in the water, you're not getting any more than that 10 pounds of fish, whatever you can catch on your lures, right? So I equate having Infusionsoft, having a marketing automation software, to fishing with a net rather than fishing with lures. And if you can think about it, like, you put the bait out there, there's the fish that will grab at it and grab at your lures, but then there's all the fish on like the seabed, right? And the lake bed that are benefiting off of your free food, and they're not biting. There's all of these leads coming into your business that are subscribing to your newsletter, or that are opting into like a free report or a free PDF, or they're watching your YouTube videos, and you're not bringing any of them in. So I equate having a marketing automation software like Infusionsoft to you're now fishing with a net. And, it really is that easy to scale, because so many business owners think it's a lead generation issue, or it's a money issue. If I just have this Facebook ad and I throw more money at it, well, I'm bound to get more customers, right? And sometimes that's absolutely true. But a lot of times it's not the amount of money that you're spending, it's what you're doing with those leads after they watch those videos, after they download the PDF. And the game, we talked about this I think in the first segment, the entrepreneurial game, what this really is all about is it is about being in the front of mind of your customers when they're ready to buy. So I always talk about there's two types of no's. Like, there's a bunch of types of no's, like no, my kid's sick, no this, no that, right? But when you get down to the nuts and bolts of it, there's only two types of no's. There's no, this isn't applicable to my business, meaning like you're a fisherman and they're trying to sell you a ceiling fan. Well, that's not, you can't use that, right? That's not something that's of value to you. Or there's no, not right now, meaning it's applicable to your business. You see the value in it. You know that you can use it, but maybe you just like can't afford it right now, or you've spent your budget for the month, or you're just not quite in the position where you're ready to kind of snag at whatever that is that you're buying. If you can be, as a business owner, whether you sell products or services, again, whether you work on cars, whether you tile roofs, whether you're a baker, whether you're a candlestick maker, if you can be in the front of mind of your customers so that you're providing value, you're giving them education, you're creating that reciprocity, and you can really be in the front of mind so that when they are ready to say yes, you and your services, your products are the very first thing that they think of. And it takes work. Infusionsoft, marketing automation is set it and forget it, but you need to provide value. You need to create that reciprocity. You need to give them a reason to continue to follow you. I mean, I was going to physical therapy and they have a little tiny little plaque on the wall that says, like us on Facebook. Well, why?
Yeah.
What benefit is that to me? What value are you going to provide me if I like your Facebook page? And that really is the entrepreneurial and the small business game, is if you can be in the front of mind of your customers when they are ready to say yes, when they're ready to pull the trigger, they will literally throw money at your door, because you've put yourself in the position of authority, that you are the person that they go to when they think, I need X, or I need production services. I'm coming to Duncan, period.
Right, and that's a big thing for us in the what we do with our video marketing, is that, advertising, the world of advertising, you watch Mad Men or something like that, it can be kind of like a manipulative industry. You're trying to convince people that didn't want this to all of a sudden want this. And our tactic on how we speak to our customers is not that way. We do not make manipulative videos. We make informative and educational videos for them to make a decision on their own, because we just figure that they haven't heard about it or learned about it yet, and we'll just present it to them. And that's sort of like our whole stance, is like giving them information that makes them understand the product a little bit better, so they can make that decision on their own without someone telling them, if you don't come in the next 5 minutes, you're going to miss out.
Yeah. And then there's more.
And
but wait.
So and I think that's how advertising and marketing has shifted in the last, let's say, 10 years, this informative age of the internet. It's all about information and entertainment. You know, if you can make them smile, if you can make them understand, you're going to have a customer for life instead of one that you just made panicky and has to get down to the car dealership right away because the car's going to be gone. You know, so I think that's where the value of this comes in, is to constantly give them that information that they're looking for to grow their business with.
Absolutely. And the truth of the matter is that you can't do that on your own. If you, whether you're just in Brevard County, you're just in Central Florida, or you're of the United States, or you're a global business, you as one solopreneur, one business owner, even if you hired 1,000 people, you don't have the manpower to go out and knock on the door of every business that you have in your digital Rolodex and say, hey guys, here's a PDF, you know, hope you have a great day. And then tomorrow, knock, knock, knock. Hey guys, just wanted to let you know I found this really cool thing. Next, you know. But marketing automation can be that. It can do that for you. And in a very subtle, not in your face, not in a manipulative sort of way, but in a way that says, I'm the authority in what I do, and I'm going to provide value to you so that you can be educated and can understand. Because nowadays, every consumer is so savvy. We're getting away from these, the infomercial and the high pressure tactics. No, like, ask anybody, what was what was your experience the last time you bought an automobile? Well, I don't like pushy sales guys. I probably bought mine online or through, cars.com or something, right?
Yeah, they're doing their research and everything beforehand. They're educating themselves, and they're not relying on that 30-second TV commercial that's yelling at them and telling them that, taking, I think that stance was more of the FOMA tactic, the fear of missing out sort of deal is what they were really holding on to.
Yeah.
And people have become a little, like you say, savvy to it. It doesn't work as well as it used to. So
yeah. So you as a business owner, and in a way as a marketer, you need to be savvy to that and provide education, provide value to your customers, to your leads, so that they know, what's happening in your business. And it's not a bad thing at all. They're savvy. They know what's going on. They want to be educated, but you have to provide that. You have to give that to them. And definitely, if you are the kind of entrepreneur, and I've been there, you're, struggling to make ends meet, you're working those 16, 18-hour days, it can get exhausting, but being able to digitize your process will absolutely take care of that.
So this is the best part. This is where we wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching so much. This will be available on our website, 142productions.com, and our YouTube account, and on Facebook. So if you wanted to watch the show, if you're just catching us here at the tail end, come back later and we'll have the whole show up for you. If you wanted to get more information about us, our company, 142 Productions, you can go to 142productions.com, check us out, and see some of our samples there. And our big thing is we offer a free video marketing consultation. So if you got a video idea that you think might help your business grow, call us. We'll come in, sit down, just brainstorm some ideas. Why don't you go and tell them how, if they want to get a hold of you, what would be the best way?
Yeah, absolutely. So, of course, being in marketing automation, I love email. So you can go ahead and email me at Jillian@informedmarketingsolutionsllc.com, or again, go to that bit.ly, bit.ly/142-IMS, and you're actually going to opt in to get my notes from our talk today, as well as some email follow-up, and then a chance to possibly have a one-on-one discovery session with me as well. So
you get to see some of that automation in action.
Yeah,
be the customer side.
exactly. Yeah,
that's great. All right, guys, thank you so much thank you for joining us today. It's been great information.
My pleasure.
For sure.
Thank you.
And like I said, give her a call if you're a small business and you need some help, getting some things going in the background that you just don't have time to, because we're supposed to be working on our business and not in our business.
Yeah.
So Thank you again so much for
Thank
for
you.
joining.
Thank you, Duncan. Thanks, everybody.
And thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next month on InFocus Marketing Sessions.